My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get this healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Listen, man, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in this morning. Been away for a little minute, but I still tried to go live a few times from El Salvador. Salute to Shaggy, Javier, Marie, Mr. KO in the building, underrated Will. What's the deal, family? Toy Mafia. My peoples, y'all know what it is, man. Show kicked off a little bit later today. Flew in from Panama yesterday. Got home at almost 3 in the morning. So not much sleep, but we love the sport of boxing. Before kicking this thing off, man, let me say happy Friday to everybody. You know, appreciate everybody who always show love to JSmiff, who always show up. And we talking boxing, my peoples. We talking boxing. Let me just say, man, again, happy Friday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. It was a long week for me last week. I tried to go live for you guys a few times so we could still get it popping. But we back in action, my peoples. Boxing for Breakfast is back on. JM, I hear you, big homie. Salute, brother. Shaggy, my G. Listen, fellas, listen. Listen, man. We gonna kick this thing off right away with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. Now, why we doing that? Because it's already January 16th. They fighting on the 31st. So it looks like Shakur is the favorite to win this fight. Most people saying he's gonna win. And when that happens, when we look at the odds, I haven't seen them. He's the favorite. By the way, my peoples, I haven't had breakfast, but this is Boxing for Breakfast. I know you guys don't mind if I eat. You enjoy your breakfast, if that's what you're on right now. Let me tell you right now, I'm making my official prediction for this fight on Monday. So on Monday, I'm going to let you know who's going to win. I already know who's going to win. If you want to flip your money, you want to place your bet, listen to Jay Stradamus. This is going to be a real good fight. Nobody's getting washed or made to look like a bum or made to look easy. I told you guys before. Javier, are those pop cereal? Man, this man done identify my pops. How you identify my pops, bro? You know you can't go wrong. Man, identify my cereal. We're going to get on January 31st the best version that we've ever seen of Teofimo Lopez versus the best version that we've ever seen of Shakur Stevenson. They're both going to be at their very best. This is going to be a very, very good fight to watch. A very competitive fight. Now, is somebody going to step it up a notch and then start dictating what happens in this fight? Yes, that is going to happen. Someone is going to dictate how this plays out. But it doesn't mean that anybody getting washed. It's going to be good. They both going to land some good shots on each other. They both going to have a moment where you're like, oh. It's going to be a good fight. Unlaced. Smith, did you catch the fights this morning? Complete BS. I missed it, bro. I missed it, but I am going to do my best to check them out. Look, I understand something that I want to point out. Nikita Tszyu, Tim Tszyu, they're Costa Tszyu's sons, right? And Costa Tszyu is an icon in Australia. He a legend for the things that he accomplished. So, of course, his sons are going to get that royal treatment from Australia and fans and all of that. But right now, today, should they be bigger than Jai Opataya? Let that sizzle in your spirit. Jai Opataya is a monster. Gonna be a big star. And I think that they should start putting a little bit more of a spotlight on him. Cause Tim Tszyu, brother, just fought. The guy he fought done the worst thing you could do in a fight. Quit for no reason. Ah, man, that's horrible. Cousin Jet, disgrace for our country. That's horrible, man. Quit for no reason. Ah, man. I mean, I want to see, let's give it context, right? Because sometimes there is a reason and we don't know it. So I would like to say to you, Cousin Jeb, let's first give him the benefit of the doubt until we find out what happened. And I say that because sometimes fighters go into a fight already knowing that they got an injury. And I'm just giving you an example. You know, fighters go into a fight, know they got an injury, thinking I'm going to fight through it. But when fight time comes and you get hit and you feel like that injury is not going to let you fight back. So now you know, oh shit, this injury is going to get me beat up. Quit. You should have never fought. Look, there's a lot of times, my peoples, I promise you, that fighters climb in the ring knowing that they got an injury. But it's that check. I pull out of this fight, I'm going to lose that money. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and see why. I'm going to check out the highlights. That's a fact. I want to see what happened. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and see why the guy quit. Cousin Jet, my brother watched the highlights. He got caught on camera. They're lighting a post-fight. He had baby cut. What, a little cut? You see that? That's going to look like he quit for sure. I'm going to check it out. I don't want to judge without seeing for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I told you, Costa Tszyu is a legend out there. And his kids are going to get that royal treatment. And that's why I was just saying, Jai Opataya, with what he got going on, he should be the bigger name. In fact, dare I say, Jai Opataya at this point is ready to be the face of Australian boxing. What say you, Cousin Jab? I believe that he's the guy already, right now. He still has to get more famous because he's not being... I mean, Eddie Hearn is giving him love. He's getting love from Matchroom and the Zone. But I think that just Australian fans in general need to say, nah, this is the guy. This is our guy. Jai Opataya is that dude, bro. He's that dude. He's for real. And it's not just that he's for real. Look at everything that he brings to the table. The guy is ferocious. Ferocious. That's number one. Number two, he can fight. Nice. Ferocious, but nice. Skilled. Young. A good-looking dude. Got the star power quality. No Diddy. So, Jai Opataya has all of the qualities that you need to represent the country. To be like, yeah, this the guy right here. This our guy. We got a guy right here. That's him. That's Jai Opataya, my people. It is what it is. Come on, let's be honest. Javier, eat your pops before they get soggy, JSmiff. Oh, I'm eating, but boxing is important, bro. Boxing is important. Marie, the fans are the ones who make a fighter the face of boxing in their country. It needs to be Jai Opataya, bro. I understand that, you know, the weight that the Tszyu name holds in boxing. That name holds weight. And I can even imagine in Australia how people see Tim Tszyu. I respect it. But Tim Tszyu and Nikita Tszyu, they not Costa Tszyu. You can't put them on that pedestal above Jai Opataya when you see what Jai is doing. Nikita Sue is just starting now. He's a young kid. And he'll accomplish, but he's just starting off. That's my take. Because I got a lot of love for Tim, for Nikita, because of Costa Zoo. But maybe if Costa Zoo didn't accomplish what he did, maybe I wouldn't even know who Nikita is. Maybe Nikita is somebody I would have never even heard of until maybe a few years when he accomplished. But I already know him and known him for a long time because of his pops. Mr. K, open tie is a big threat to the cruiserweight division. And he a big dude. He a big dude. The sky's the limit for him. Cousin Jet, it's not the fans. It's the media. I get that feeling, Cousin Jet, that the media they support their guy. And that's why I said Nikita and Tim gonna get that royal treatment. But ultimately, the face of the sport of your country gotta be the best of your country. Jai Opataya is the best Australia guy right now. That's it. There's no getting around that. CZR. Yo, Jay, how you doing? Salute, family. I'm doing good, man. Back in Dominican Republic, back in Boxing for Breakfast. It don't get no better. Marie, but for how long will they carry that name, bro? At least Jai the champ still. But that's my point right there. You know, you want to keep shoving the zoos down people's throats, and Jai is right there. You're going to have to at some point say, yo, this is the guy. This is him. And look, I'm going to tell you guys something that a lot of people don't see, but I see it. Tim Tszyu can still become a world champion. He not done. He not done. Don't get it twisted. And Nikita Tszyu could become a world champion. He has that level of talent. But we're talking about who's the guy right now. And it has to be Jai Opataya. They got to start giving him that love. They got to start putting him out there like, yeah, this is our guy. Alpha. Hey, William Score is fighting on the 31st. Do you think he's going to come back to his winning ways? I mean, he has one loss, and it's to Canelo Alvarez. And by the way, Canelo didn't exactly wash him. That fight went the distance, and William Score danced circles around him. Some people even say, yo, I think he beat Canelo in that fight. So I expect William Score to go out and be his usual self and perform. You know, Cuban style. A fighter who can box, who can move, who got that footwork. Yeah, he's going back to his winning ways for sure. Javier, who do you think Canelo will fight next? I'm not sure, but, you know, we already know Mauricio, the goofball Sulaiman, wants nothing more than to have Canelo hold that WBC strap. So I know they're going to put him in position to get it as soon as possible. Don't be surprised if he's going to fight the winner of between Hamza Shiraz and who's Shiraz fighting again? He's probably going to fight right away the winner of that fight. Cousin Jet, 100% easy money. Jai shits on them. They're tough. I give them respect. Over here, Tim was knocking all these dudes out. I knew once he went USA, he was getting sunk. First couple fights gone. So, look, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Tim Tszyu is somebody who, because of that toughness that he has, that he inherited from his pops, he really is all about that smoke. So we're in this new generation of boxing when people, you know, they want everybody to stay undefeated, and if you're the best, you can't take an L and all of that. But I have such a level of respect for Tim Tszyu because look, he took a couple of L's, but look who he lost to. Sebastian Fundora, the toughest, best champion right now, 154. Until further notice, 154 belonged to Sebastian Fundora. I know Boots went up there, but Boots ain't a champion at 154 right now. That division belonged to Sebastian. So Tim Tszyu lost to Sebastian Fundora and lost to Bakram Murtasaliev. Look at the guys that beat him. It's not like he's out there getting beat up by average Joes, right? Tough matchups that a lot of fighters wouldn't even take. What happened with Boots when he went to 154? They offered him the Virgil fight, and what he said, nah, I want a tune-up first. He took a tune-up. Tune-up. So all I'm trying to tell you, if Tim Tszyu and his team was on some, let's do some careful matchmaking, he would be undefeated right now. Think about that, my people. Y'all know I don't cap. Tim Tszyu would have been undefeated if they would have been selective about their opponents. Just like Boots was selective about who he fought when he first got to 154. Smart move. They do it in boxing. So I don't knock Timmy for taking 2 losses against the best fighters in the division. Bakram Murtasaliev, we didn't even know who he was before he fought Tim Tszyu. Most of us never even heard of that dude. And he turned out to be a monster. CeeLo, salute, my brother. Bam! My peoples, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, man. I miss talking boxing with y'all this early in the morning. Enjoy the sweet science with me, y'all. Real talk. So I got mad respect for Tim Tszyu because he's taking on some monster challenges, took a couple of L's. But remember I told you, don't give up on Timmy, my peoples. You do not give up on a fighter who's showing you I will fight anybody. Don't give up on a guy like that, because when you least expect that he show up for a title fight and walk out of there with the belt. So I still believe that Tim Tszyu can become and will become a world champion. I don't know in what division. I don't know under what circumstances. But I envision him in my head putting a belt around his waist. Remember I told you that. See, I don't give up on a fighter because he took a L. Rosa Andre, Williams is to be taken very seriously. My peoples. That's a fact. That's a fact. Williams' score is no bump. You see, Rosa, the thing is that we live in the era where as soon as you take a L, you a hype job, you a bum, you no good. No, this dude was a champion for a reason, and this dude can fight. Well, he wasn't a champion. I don't think he's held a main title. But he can fight, my people. Or has he held the main title? John Parham, Fundora, a bad man. Good to be back home. Hell yeah, my brother. You know, John, I got to tell you something. El Salvador is a country that I have to go back, but not for work, on vacation, just to enjoy the country. Beautiful country, beautiful people, and it's just an amazing place to go to, bro. Real talk. Special place. Alpha, by the way, do you think Josh Kelly is going to upset Bakram Murtasaliev? I know, because I've seen Kelly's last couple of fights, and I know that he can fight. I know that he's willing to sit there and bang with you. I think it's an uphill battle for him. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Bakram, is going to be a very, very tough test. I don't know if Kelly's going to be able to handle that. Honestly. Rosa, work smarter, not harder. But those losers, those losses for Tim on the championship road. That's what I try to tell people, man. Don't write somebody off because they lost against that level of opponent. If you tell me that Tim Tszyu is losing to BC level fighters, I'm like, oh no, he done. He not going nowhere. But you lost to Tim Tszyu, or you lost to Sebastian Fundora, to Bakram Montasaliev. Come on, my people. Losers can be learning curve for great champions, just like a stepping stone. Think about this. Canelo Alvarez lost to Floyd Mayweather. And after that loss, he went on a run that made him an all-time great. How many titles? How many champions? How many accomplishments? Right after taking that loss to Floyd. Bunch of fighters took a L, and that's when they really went on to accomplish. Put the beats on people. Most people don't even remember that. Bernard Hopkins kicked off his career with a loss. Hopkins lost his first fight. Bernard Hopkins turned pro, and his first fight got his ass kicked. And then he went on a Hall of Fame run. Eye for eye, JSmiff. What's good? Welcome home, my guy. Now whole week cooking, bro. Eye for eye. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you, man. You know what we do? We talking boxing. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, January 31st. It looks like Shakur's the favorite. Everybody saying he's going to win, or most people saying he's going to win. And then there's some people that saying that Teo's going to knock him out. John Parham, Shakur will never see 154. 147 already pushing it. I don't think Shakur will see 154. Maybe at the tail end of his career for the last couple of fights. Well, it's 147 Shakur limit. I think he will dominate and avoid getting hit by every single fighter below 154. So I think that Shakur is going to be similar to Floyd, where he may cap off at 147, but he'll do a couple of catchweight fights with big star 154 pounders, and maybe they'll fight like at 150, 152, something like that. But I don't really see Shakur being a full-blown 154 pounder unless it's like already at the tail end of his career, kind of like what Crawford did with Canelo. Maybe Shakur's, let's say, 35, 36, undefeated, all these things accomplished. Gets a big name at 154. Yeah, I'm going to move up and fight you. Maybe something like that. I just don't see him campaigning in that division. Well, I don't see him losing then. We may be looking at the next Floyd. Shakur Stevenson, maybe the next Floyd. People don't like to hear it, but I just got to give it to you how it is. Eye for eye. Does Spence officially retire? I mean, I don't know, because I've seen that he retired. I've seen that he'll come back when he's ready. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I will say this. With the type of money that Errol has, it don't look like he's blowing his fortune. It look like he's with his family, got investments, got money, you know, that he's flipping. In my opinion, Errol shouldn't fight again. He shouldn't fight again. He took some nasty shots from Terence Crawford. That was one of the worst beatings that we've seen in recent history. And people can't really grasp the damage that a fight like that can do to a fighter. I do. And Errol can take another beating that could leave him punch drunk right after the fight. That's he's not the same. He may not be the same right now because of that fight. He may still have some damage left over. So because of that, if there's even a question that he may have some damage, he shouldn't box again. Enjoy your money. Enjoy your wealth. Enjoy your family. Because at the end of the day, you know, boxing is a sport, but your life is more important. Mr. KO. BBO Sports TV, Big John, my guy. BBO, salute, family. Mr. KO, 147, the end for Shakur. He's already a 3-division world champ. If he wins a belt at 140 though, 147, he'll be a 5-division world champ, joining Floyd Mayweather and Crawford, etc. But he may want to surpass them. He may want to surpass, because what you have to understand is that Shakur's mindset is that he wants to be the greatest of all time too. He's one of those guys. He wants to be the face of boxing. He wants to be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He's trying to take over. And when you're trying to take over, what you're really trying to do is accomplish more than everybody else, so that there isn't a question. Floyd is a 5-division world champ. If Shakur got a possibility of becoming a 6-division world champ, he's going to go at that. He's going to go at that. Trust me. John Parham, I think Tank beat Shakur, but Tank has to stay out of trouble to believe in himself. Well, John Parham, then you just brought us on to the next topic. John Parham segued us into the next topic for this Boxing for Breakfast episode. Tank Davis. My peoples, now that I got you guys here, and hit that like button, my peoples. We 2026. We not doing the ghost watching. We not doing the sneak hating on JSmiff. We hit that like button in 2026. Check it. Tank Davis, everybody knows about the warrant, that they want to arrest him and all of that. So I'm going to give you guys my take. You know, all of you know, that if I need to criticize Tank Davis, I don't hesitate. I'm not biased. If I need to show you love for some good shit you did, I'm going to show you love. If you fucked up, I'm going to criticize you for fucking up. That's just how I do. I call it how I see it. And you guys know I have criticized Tank Davis in the past, certain opponents, some shit like that. But my peoples, I'm trying to figure out if last year, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, you got a young lady that says, I'm dropping the charges, I'm not pursuing it, right? After that, I saw Tank Davis giving out turkey in Detroit, giving out food to the people in Detroit. I saw him in Christmas giving clothes to the people, taking care of his community. Hold on, why we only got to talk about the bad? So we don't see the good shit that he does? We don't see when a nigga taking care of his peoples? We can't see that? So come on now. If you only see the bad and you only talk about the bad, you a fucking hater. That's what you is. I'm not a hater. I know that there's people that got this narrative that I'm a hater and that I'm a Tank Davis hater. Run with that narrative. I don't care. But I tell you right now, I personally feel like Tank Davis is being targeted. Like they're at a point where they want to get him. They don't want to see him doing good. They don't want to see him taking care of the community, giving out clothes, giving out turkey. That's positive shit. We don't want that for you. We trying to take you down. I feel like they targeted him because it doesn't make sense to me. Y'all don't have a victim. Y'all don't have an accuser. Y'all don't have... Why would you decide that you want to arrest them anyways and pursue the shit? I've seen people who got locked up because they got into a situation with a girl. The girl says, no, recants her story like, no, it really didn't go like that. I was just mad at him. And the state don't pursue the charges because they know when they get to court, you don't got nobody there. The person is going to be found not guilty. So they don't have somebody against Tank Davis because the girl's not even pressing charges. And the state picks it up and says, nah, we're going to lock you up anyways. Now y'all got me feeling like y'all got an issue with Tank. Now y'all got me feeling like y'all got it in for him. That's how I'm feeling about that situation. So for those who thought that I was going to be going in on Tank and say, yeah, take him down. Yeah, nah, bro. Nah. He being targeted. It's going to be hard to convince me that there isn't somebody out there that just decided, yo, we're going to take him down no matter what. Because that's how it's coming across. John Pam, Tank been in the gym, putting in work for a comeback. So definitely bad timing. Tank definitely targeted. May be real. Come on, bro. It's almost like as soon as he decided, let me stay out of trouble, let me help my community, let me do positive things, these motherfuckers just came out of nowhere. Yeah, we got a warrant for your arrest. God damn, I didn't even do nothing. Yeah, but we want you anyways. The girls dropped the charges. She not following up. She not pursuing it. We want you. You're being targeted. I don't want to hear it. Mr. K, I want to see Tank back in the ring. We all want to see Tank back in the ring, except the people that's targeting him. They want to see him in jail. You see? We want to see him in the ring. There's some people out there that want to see him in jail. That's the reality. Rosa Andre, Shakur is the truth. After this win, people will jump on the bandwagon. Also will become the face, the young future. T.O. is no joke. Very good fighter. I mean, and I said this last week. T.O. and Shakur, they're both fighters who want to get to the top. They want to be the face. They want to be the pound-for-pound guy, all of it. And whoever wins this fight is going to position themselves in that direction. The lunatic librarian is in the house. Salute, family. C. Graf. Seems like he's crashing out. Nah, bro. Nobody's crashing out because Tank Davis hasn't done anything, bro. That arrest warrant is from the case from 3 months ago from the civil suit from that girl. She dropped the charges, and 3 months later, they decided that they're going to pursue it. They got it in for Tank, bro. Mr. KO, from the outside, it looks like he fell off. But this could be true. But I don't even understand why would it be that he fell off when he hasn't done anything in the ring to show that he fell off. Now, if you told me that he goes up and get beat up by some B-level guy, I'm like, oh, shit. Tank is cooked. But we haven't seen nothing in the ring to tell us that he fell off. Clifton Dennis. Smith. School to think Tank is being targeted, maybe. I'm trying to tell people, bro. Not maybe. He's being targeted. He's being targeted. There's already somebody out there in Detroit that decided we're going after Tank. Because the guy hasn't even done shit. There's people that told me, yo, maybe he did something now that we don't know about. Let's make it clear, my peoples. Let's make sure we all understand what's going on. You remember last year that case with that girl, that alleged Tank had a situation with her, right? That girl dropped a civil suit. It was a civil suit for money. Those were not criminal charges. A civil suit. She dropped it. That was months ago. In 2026, the state decided that they're going to pick up criminal charges. Yo, you know how many situations I've seen where people have problems, a couple had a problem, a boyfriend, girlfriend had a problem, whatever. And then the girl says, nah, I don't want to press charges. I'm recanting my story. It didn't go down like that. I was just mad at him. What type of shit? Charges drop. Because we don't have a case. We don't have a witness. That's what usually happens. But now with Tank Davis, because they want him so bad that now they got an arrest warrant on his ass. They want him. They want him badly. Yo, I've seen dudes beat the crap out of their girl. And their girl go there be like, nah, that wasn't him. I was just mad at him. I hit the wall. Charges drop. We don't got a witness. Ain't nobody else could say they saw it. Charges drop. But again, they want Tank Davis badly. That's what it looked like. John Pam, Jake Paul need to be investigated. I mean, there's some interesting circumstances surrounding Jake Paul, but I don't want to make no allegations. Well, I speculate Tio will try hammer first punches coming down. You know, it's interesting you say that because those were the punches that gave Floyd some problems when he fought Marcos Maidana in the first fight. Remember Maidana with the boom, boom? And it's crazy because those punches look awkward. They look goofy as hell. But think about it. Those punches made it across the Philly shell and caught Floyd a lot of times. Why? Because when you like this, the punch is supposed to be coming from here, from this angle. And you like, boop, 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 boop. But when you go like this, and the punch is coming down like a goddamn rock from a rooftop, bing, 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 the punch is coming. Dumb punches like that, bro. Most people don't even practice that shit. Most people don't even know how to throw those punches. But Maidana and people with that style, they going like this, and you're not going to really show those punches. You're going to get hit with those. Mr. KO, Teofimo isn't going to cheat. He's going to take risks that no one else did against Shakur. He has all the skills to do, so I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Look, we all have to admit, Teofimo Lopez is a great fighter. A great fighter. So to even think that he's going to get washed, that's preposterous. It's going to be a good fight. Clifton Dennis, later tonight, tomorrow, whenever you have a chance, check out Floyd Mayweather versus Marcus Maidana, the first fight. And you're going to see Floyd on his Philly shell like that, and you're going to see Maidana going like that. Boom, 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 boom. Punching from up to, not hammer punches, because that's illegal. You can't hammer punch. But like this, look, the trajectory of the punch is going from up to down like a motherfucking rainbow, bro. How do you block a punch that's coming in on you like a rainbow? You can't do a Philly shell like this. So, although that's an awkward punch, it's hard to block it. That punch it's coming from the top. Eye for eye. Did anybody see Logan Paul get his ass knocked out at the gym? I didn't see it, but I'm going to check it out. I didn't even know that. I didn't know he get knocked out. Mr. KO, Tio Athletic, creativity versus Shakur's superb defense. A showdown. That's a fact. Great analysis. You got the boxer against the puncher, and they're both at the highest level in their game. Eye for eye. Teofimo literally said he's going to cheat. Now, you got to understand eye for eye. And in a way, that could be a problem for Tio. But he will say anything to get that attention. We seen when he went on his racist days, when he was on some racist shit. And then come to find out, he just doing it to get the attention. Don't play like that. Mr. KO, Tio gonna be leaping. You never know, Tio might be trying to slam dunk. Trying to slam dunk on Shakur head. JJ said, JSmiff, good morning. 6 in the morning, California time. Clifton Dennis. Logan Bradley. Martin Video was AI. Oh, shit. My peoples, don't forget to hit that like button, man. Remember, 2026, we're not down with the ghost watching. We're not doing the sneak hating on JSmiff. This is it right here this year. Let me segue into this for y'all, man. Brian Norman Jr. fired his pops. Fired Brian Norman Sr. I don't know who's going to be his next trainer. What do you guys think about that? Did he make the right move in firing his pops? JJ said, hit the like button and subscribe, my peoples. Mr. KO, like how you did to Josh Taylor. Come on, my people. Brian Norman Jr. fired Pop Dukes. He's going to be moving on to a different coach. And we've seen it a lot of times in boxing, where a fighter, works with his pops and eventually moves on. Floyd Mayweather fired his own pops and went with Roger. Oscar De La Hoya fired his own pops. I think Sugar Shane also fired his pops. Clifton Dennis, maybe I'm undecided. Rosa Andre, great move. Change is great sometimes. And I'm going to say this, Rosa, and I want to see what everybody else think about Brian Norman Jr. firing his pops. But I'm going to say this. It has to be a very difficult decision for you to fire your own father. But it shows maturity. It shows that you're ready to just be on your own. And it shows that you understand that you have to do something different. Why is this important? Brian Norman Jr. got his ass kicked by Devin Haney. And it's okay to take a loss. But he did not lose in a competitive way. He did not lose in a way where it looked like he might win, where he's having a moment. He got washed. So he did not go into that fight prepared for Devin Haney. He didn't go in. And I remember, look, guys, people have to stop falling to that trap. I remember leading up to the fight that Brian Norman Jr. spoke about how Devin was going to be running, but he was going to catch up to him. He was going to cut the ring. He was going to... So could you imagine if all they did was bring sparring partners that was going to be moving, that was going to be using footwork, that Norman Jr. was going to be chasing him around? Those are the type of sparring partners that you work with. And then you fight a Devin Haney that's going to stand right in front of your face, drop you in the second round and trade leather with you. You cooked. You wasn't ready for that. So if you feel like his pops did not prepare him for that type of fight, then he has to move on. That's the right move. JJ said, JSmiff, are you still a shadow banned, my buddy? That's a football channel, has been shadow banned for a while. Yeah, my shadow ban is going to end on January 28th. So on January 28th, we're going to be on fire. Clifton Dennis, it's hard to say his pops lead him too because a world champion only good if they couldn't come to terms. I mean, his father took him all the way to becoming a world champion. We got to accept that. And we got to give Brian Norman Sr. his flowers for that. You made your son a world champion. But maybe Brian Norman Jr. feels like his pops took him as far as he could. And now he needs another coach to take him another step further. That happens. That happens. Eye for eye. He lost from bad coaching. It looks like he felt that way. But from watching the fight, I didn't feel like he was prepared like he should have been. This could have been a fight where... You guys remember Reina Tellez, how she lost to Amanda Serrano, but her stock skyrocketed because it was such a good fight, such a competitive fight. She left Serrano all swole up. Brian Norman Jr. could have took that type of loss. If he was better prepared, it could have been the type of fight where Devin dropped him, but he also dropped Devin. Devin hurt him, but he also hurt Devin. And then maybe Devin picks it up at the end and win the championship rounds. And he loses in a close, competitive fight. It's all good. But he got his ass kicked. Got beat up, got dominated. You wasn't ready for what Devin Haney brought to the table that night. John Pound, Sr. put too much pressure on the kid. Also, and all the extra exposure on social media. There was a lot of pressure on Brian Norman Jr. There was. But the preparation, honestly, from the fight that we saw, it didn't look like he was nowhere near prepared to fight Devin Haney. Nowhere near. To me, when I saw that fight, it appeared like Brian Norman Jr. went in there thinking, this guy's going to run, I'm going to chase him, and eventually I'm going to knock him out. So when he got dropped, boom, oh, shit. And he started getting hit. Yo, there was points in that fight where he had You guys know I'm an analyst. I look at things. Yo, there was point in that fight where Brian Norman Jr. had the fucking deer in a headlight look. Like, oh shit. Like you could see it. He was coming to terms with, this nigga's nice. Beating my ass. You should have had that mindset going into this fight. You should never went into that fight on some, yeah, I'm going to knock him out. He's going to run. He's going to be scared. And should have never had that mindset. And when you lose the way that he lost to Devin Haney, your stock goes like this. He want to bring it back up. The good thing is that when you're a world champion, all you need is a big win and your stock is right back up. That's it. Get you a coach, a trainer, work with whoever you're going to work with, come back, get you a big win, and we already talking about Brian Norman Jr. is a threat. He one of the big dogs. But he need a big win right now after a loss like that. Eye for eye, maybe Devin just do extremely well against flat-footed fighters. He does, but if you look at the Linares fight, he got hurt, right? He dominated Linares, but he got hurt. He got wobbled. Brian Norman Jr. didn't do nothing in that fight. He never had a second that made you say, oh shit, oh shit. Not even one. No good, Papi. That's no good. John Parham, also Norman Sr., with his phone in his hand during the whole fight, and rounds is crazy. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I don't know what happened with that. I actually mentioned that in a previous episode, like, yo, I don't think I've seen another coach doing that. Clifton Dennis. This nigga's nice beating my ass. I'm telling you that, damn, this nigga nice. Whooping my whole shit. His eyes like that. JJ said that 17 likes. Get more for JSmiff. That's what I'm talking about, man. In 2026, we're not doing the ghost watching anymore. Underrated will. Need be Norma rewatch Devin once he put the jab and head movement in his arsenal. And I tell you what, my peoples. Brian Norman Jr., young, talented, got power. With the right team around him, he's going to be a world champion again. I'm not saying he's going to beat Devin. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know what division is going to happen in. But I'm old school. You guys know when somebody take a L, I don't decide that they cooked and washed and a hype job because they took a L. This guy's going to be a world champion. He's going to get the right team around him. John Parham, go watch Senior on Mill City. A bit embarrassing. Oh, damn. What did he say? What exactly did he say? I remember him saying, and I'm going to be honest, it bothered me when he said that. I'm going to holler at him. I'm going to hit him up. He said that it looked like his son wasn't ready for Devin's power, or that he was caught by surprise. And I didn't like that at all. Because if you're preparing him, like, I understand when fans say Devin Haney was done and Devin Haney wasn't the same because of Ryan Garcia. I understand that. But you're a boxing trainer. And you've been operating at the highest level with your son. You guys know that Devin Haney's not washed. You guys know that Devin Haney's not done. You guys know, everybody in boxing knows that Devin Haney's one of the best in the game. Norman Jr. did not show up to fight like he was fighting one of the best in the game. It looked like he showed up to face an average Joe that's washed. It looked like he was there to fight Jen Sasaki. Okay, you knocked out Jen Sasaki in the first round, but that's not who you was there to fight that night. Clifton Dennis Sr. hasn't showed any accountability. And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why Norman Jr. decided to make the change. Because I tell you what, if I was Norman Sr., right after that fight, I would have got in front of the camera and I would have said, we lost. We didn't prepare the right way. My son didn't lose in the ring. We lost as a team. We lost this fight in training camp. We. But it looks like he was just throwing all the heat in his son's way. He wasn't prepared for the power. He wasn't, he got caught off guard. Yo, listen, that's not a good look for you as a trainer to say that your son got caught off guard by anything. That just says you didn't prepare him for that. You really talking about anything? Look, if any fighter get caught off guard, I'm looking at the trainer. What you mean he got caught off guard? You're the one that was supposed to prepare him to be on guard. How he not prepared? So I get Norman Jr. decided to make the move, make the switch, and go with somebody else. I respect that. I think that Norman Sr. should have took some accountability for that L and for the way that it happened. Because like I told you, if you lose in competitive fashion, we could take it. It was a good fight. But to get washed and then talk about, oh, we wasn't ready for what he had? The fuck was the training camp for? Isn't the training camp so you could be ready? That's what I thought. Maybe that's just me, right? Eye for eye. Jay, what up with these dudes taking these losses, but nobody's going for the rematches? The thing is that a rematch makes sense when you think you can win it. Conor Ben, the destroyer, took the rematch. And what I took, you probably remember, I said Conor Ben was going to win the rematch. It's all about the mindset. All about the mindset. Are you really about that smoke? Or are you not? Look, that's why I tell you, Tim Tszyu, I got mad love for him, mad respect. Look, he lost to Fundora, took the rematch, lost again. But can you really knock Tim Tszyu for losing to Sebastian Fundora and Bakr Murtasaliev and he's done? When he lost to these guys up there? Nah. Hell no. That's why I say look out for Tim Tszyu. He's not done. He's not. Don't get it twisted. Brian Norman Jr. took a loss. He not done. He can fight. He can even go on a run after this L. He could go on a run, win another title, defend, accomplish. Skip a clipper. Keith Thurman, KO Tim Tszyu. Let's get that fight. Let's get that fight. And that's the one thing, man. I hope that in 2026 we could see Keith Thurman a couple of times. Because I hate the fact that he's been inactive, and when he comes back, it's like, are you going to be active? He had one fight last year, and that's it. And now is he going to have one fight in 2026? Are we going to finally see Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora? Because that's the fight. Remember, that's the fight that was supposed to happen. Not Tim Tszyu. Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. That's the fight that was supposed to happen. Signed, sealed, and delivered, and then it got pushed back. So I really want to see Thurman versus Fundora. Gonna be a good fight. Cousin Jet, do you think Horn beat Pacquiao? To be honest, he beat him. Beat him. Look, Cousin Jet, I'm gonna tell you like this. I was one of those people who watched the fight for the first time and said Manny Pacquiao got robbed. But at this point, I've seen that fight at least 5-6 times. At least. Jeff Horn beat him. He beat him. What happened is that Manny Pacquiao did have some moments. Bam, 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 bam. You know his style. Let the hands fly. He got beat, bro. Jeff Horn beat his ass. Real talk. Mr. KO, I had Norman Jr. beating Haney, but Haney proved me wrong. If Norman Jr. let his one loss derail his goal, he finished. I believe he'll be back better than ever, Mr. KO. I believe that too. I believe this loss is going to push Brian Norman Jr. to another level. Now he's going to step away from his pops, work with another team, lock in on a different level of focus, and we're going to see him accomplish some more. You can expect that. My people, let's get to 20. Let's get to 20 likes, man. Come on now. 20 likes. That's all I'm saying. We've been doing this for over an hour. Eye for eye. Who's going to give Conor Ben the chance to come over here and fight for that belt after Tio and Shakur? It should be either one of them. Now, Conor Ben is going to end up fighting the winner of Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios. Which, by the way, I haven't even made that prediction. That's a tough prediction to make. Ryan Garcia versus Mario Barrios is going to turn into a slugfest. So it's going to end up being who hurt who first. Whoever get hurt first, they cooked. Eye for eye. No, Mr. KO, Jeff Horn won more convincingly than Tim Bradley did. I felt like Tim Bradley lost. You see, Tim Bradley, I felt he lost. He got a gift. I felt like he lost. But Jeff Horn, he beat him. He really did beat him, bro. The thing is that Manny Pacquiao was a big superstar. Jeff Horn is this Australian guy that a lot of people don't know. They didn't want to give it to him. They didn't want to give him the credit. He won that fight, fair and square. Cousin Jet, you know boxing, brother. I'm Australian. But I'd be honest, could be a draw or Horn. Horn owned the ring. You know it properly, brother. That's real boxing knowledge. Appreciate you, Cousin Jet. Because that's the thing. I don't care. When I'm answering a question, when I'm making an assessment, I don't care who's the most popular fighter out of the two. I don't care who I like more out of the two. Because I can tell you right now, if you tell me who you like out of those two guys, I'm going to say Manny Pacquiao because he's one of the greatest of all time. And I didn't even know Jeff Horn like that. So that's who I like more. But if you ask me who won, I got to keep it real. Jeff Horn won that fight. The people who say he lost, they just wanted Manny Pacquiao to win so bad that they don't want to accept the results. And we see this in boxing all the time. People not wanting to accept the results. But if we sit down and we watch the fight, Jeff Horn looked bigger, stronger, was landing big shots on Manny, was teeing off on him. He won the fight. He won. There's no getting around that. But if you use bias, now you're taking into account who's more famous, who you like more, who's the bigger star, who's putting more butts in seats. I don't give a damn about none of that. We talking about what happened in the ring. Jeff Horn whooped his ass. Well, thank you for doing this. We boxing junkies. I need this. Appreciate you, my brother. And I need this too. I'm giving you your fix, but I'm taking my boxing fix too over here, my G. If it wasn't for you guys, before Boxing for Breakfast kicked off, you know what I was doing? Sitting over here like a goofball by myself, talking about, damn, man, Brian Norman Jr., why the fuck this happening? Shakur and Tio, this fight's gonna be good, man. I know they good. I would have been talking boxing by myself to myself. So I appreciate you guys joining me for this shit. Real talk. Boxing for Breakfast is not about me. It's about y'all. This show is for you guys. Real love for the sweet science, y'all. So, January 31st, my peoples. Right now, this is the biggest fight in boxing. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. This is the biggest fight in boxing. Alfo, you think Subriel should stop boxing? No, not at all. I think that Subriel has to start finally working on his defense more. working on his head movement, working on his footwork. If he's able to add that to his arsenal, we're going to see him continue to succeed. But he has to change that style of, I'm going to come forward and we're just going to bang each other out and I'm going to outgun you. I'm going to out-tough you, because you're not going to be able to out-tough everybody. He wasn't able to out-tough JSmiff. Which, by the way, salute to JSmiff, man. I told y'all he was going to whoop that ass. JSmiff is for real. He's the truth. He's going to accomplish. And look out for that young man. Look out for JSmiff. I saw that win. You guys know I made that prediction. Look out for this kid, man. He's going to do a big thing. But Subriel Matias, his offensive firepower matches all of the great fighters of today. He has the offensive firepower of any great fighter. But on the defensive end, problems. When I made this prediction, I told you guys. Told you. This kid, JSmiff, let the hands fly, and Subriel Matias blocks punches with his face. What you think is going to happen? Alfan, he's all had time to improve his less. I think that it's about the mindset. You got to change that mindset. Subriel has to stop going out to out-tough you, to outgun you, and box more. You know, let's have these moments where we're going to trade nasty leather, but let me also use my footwork. Let me also use my lateral movement. That shit doesn't exist in his arsenal. They have to include it there. If he's just going to keep being this version of Subriel, the blueprint is out there. That's it. The blueprint is out there to whoop his ass. Got to change. Got to change it up. Mr. KO, he has a decent gas tank, but it gets eroded away faster by eating too many punches. That's the thing. Look, when we was watching a fight, and shout out to Chosen One Productions, my brother, my G, Camachito, salute. We was watching a fight, and the guys on Round Table Talk was saying, yo, he's breaking him down. He's breaking JSmiff down. And I'm like, my peoples, y'all don't think he getting broken down too by all them punches he taking? He getting broken down too. He's eating mad leather. And you know what's funny, my peoples? And this is crazy, man. It's like I be having deja vu. That's why I love boxing so much. I've been in the ring. I feel what these fighters feel, my peoples. For those of you who watch my fight, y'all know I got dropped in the last round. And I got dropped almost exactly like Subriel Matias got dropped. Only difference is I got up and the round ended and the fight ended right there because there was no time left. But you know why I got dropped? Identical to Subriel. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to actually show you. If you guys remember, first, Subriel got caught with a big shot. Boom. It kind of got stunned. And then he got caught with the one that dropped him. Man hard. Boom. Now he goes down. I'm going to get the replay when I have a chance. But when I got dropped, right, my opponent had his back up against the ropes. And just like Subriel Matias, I was going forward with my hands down here. And he caught me with a shot with a right hand on my head. Boom! And I didn't even realize that I was hurt. So when he caught me with that shot, when he went again with the same shot, I went like this, look. I didn't actually block it or brace myself. I just put my hands up like that. And the right hand went right through it like nothing. Boom! And it dropped me. Why do I tell you that? Because when he hit me with the first shot, I should have moved. I should have used my footwork. I could have clinched. But I didn't even realize that I was stunned. I didn't realize. Boom. Oh, shit, you got me? Okay. The next punch is coming. Boom. Drop me. Suriel Matias made the same mistake as me. I made a mistake and it cost me. Subriel made the same mistake I made. Only thing is, I'm a 44-year-old guy making his pro debut. You're a world champion. You're not supposed to make the same mistake as me. He got hit, boom. Did he clinch? No. Did he use lateral movement? Did he back away? Footwork? No. What did he do? Stayed right there and waited for the second shot. Boom! And went down. Now, compare that to what Devin Haney did when Linares stunned him. What did he do? Clinch. Footwork. Jab. Clinch. Jab. Footwork. That's what the great ones do. The great ones, when they get hurt, they find a way to buy time. They find a way to kill time on the clock. They find a way to not allow you to get off on them again. But if you don't have that level of defense, when you get hurt, shortly after, you're going to get beat up because you just don't have it. Subriel didn't have the defense to survive once he got hurt. That's the reality. Eye for eye, Matias didn't even throw hands into the second round. He was already down in the first because he wasn't throwing hands. He eventually would have lost to decision. He was going to lose. He was going to lose that fight because he was being hit more and more and his punch output kept decreasing. So now that your punch output is decreasing and you got JSmiff who's ready to let the hands fly for 12 rounds, you either going to get stopped or you're going to get beat up. That's just the way it's going to play out. My peoples, we about to end with this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Salute to everybody who tuned in this morning. One love. Yo, eye for eye, underrated Will, Skip a Clipper, Alpha, Mr. KO, underrated Will, some guy, everybody else who tuned in this morning. I appreciate it, man. I miss doing Boxing for Breakfast at the time that we supposed to be doing it. I hope you guys enjoyed Boxing for Dinner from El Salvador. I went live a few times. I couldn't be away from you guys for that long, so I had to do it. But now we back in the Dominican Republic. Boxing for Breakfast is back on in the mornings. By the way, this shadow ban is going to end on January 28th. So we're going to be going crazy for Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez on January 31st. My peoples, the sweet science is giving us some action in January of 2026. You see all these fights coming up. Andy Cruz is going to be fighting. Bakram Mortasaliev is going to be fighting. I can't wait with Josh Kelly. That's going to be a great fight. They're going to be going at it. So we got a lot of fights that we're going to be talking about. And my peoples, remember this. On Monday, I am going to be making my official prediction for Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. I'm going to tell you who's going to win that fight. I already know who's going to win it. I've been knew it. But I'm going to tell you guys. If you're going to place your bet, you don't want to make your money, rock with JSmiff. You know what I do. You know how I get down. My peoples, y'all already know what it is, man. This was another episode of Boxing for Breakfast for you guys, for me, and for everybody who love the sweet science. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern time, something like that in the morning. We're going to be talking boxing. Salute, my peoples. JSmiff. I'm signing off. Once again, one love. Peace.